Welcome. You're watching the Thrift Store Rundown, where we bring Hollywood home on a budget. Allow me to get you reacquainted with one of my boys, if you haven't heard of him already. One of the founding fathers of the United States and first Secretary of the Treasury, Alexandra Hamilton. Now let me introduce you, or get you reacquainted if you have heard of her already, to a woman who's had more spiritual hookups with Alexandra Hamilton than anyone else in the lifetime of the televised American Revolution of modern home cookery. Melissa the Arabian, Season 5 winner of the next Blue Network star. And yeah, I said spiritual hookups. Hey, it was in the name of her blossoming career that came about because of her winning Season 5 of the next Blue Network star. Winning for the greater good of our country. Then again, she married a Frenchman and had 4 daughters, so yeah, real love story for the United Nations there. But with no disrespect to her 4 daughters, I gotta say the most gorgeous brainchild to come out of her career is this: $10 Dinners, her cookbook based upon the show of the same name which she won from the next Blue Network star. 140 recipes and tips to elevate simple, fresh meals any night of the week. This was purchased for $5.60, and that's for the item itself, not applying tax or shipping and handling costs, through Amazon. Melissa, you have the floor. What is $10 Dinners really about?
Hi, I'm Melissa the Arabian. I'm excited to share my new book, $10 Dinners, with you because it reflects my personal approach to planning meals for the whole family. You can make delicious food that everyone will want to eat and save money. Some of the savings happens at home with planning, and some of it happens at the grocery store. It's all about making smart choices and feeling great while doing it, and I'm gonna show you how. Here is my promise to you with this book. Your family can eat a delicious meal for $10. Not one dish, but a meal for a family of 4 for $10. A $10 dinner is a main dish plus 2 other dishes. So maybe a side dish and a dessert, or an appetizer and a salad. You choose what works for your meal. You can serve French cut steak with caramelized onions, with sauteed spinach and garlic, as well as roasted radishes and carrots. Or change out the radishes and carrots for white beans with cumin, oregano, and garlic. If you want dessert, choose only one side and make a buttery shortbread instead. Or if you'd rather have an appetizer on the menu, drop the dessert and try my simple tomato tart. There are tons of options. In $10 Dinners, you'll get 140 recipes that will make cooking and shopping even easier and economical. And pick up 100 of my tips and tricks that you can use in your own kitchen. I hope you'll take me up on my promise and start making great flavor-packed meals for your family today.
Alright, Melissa, you drive a hard bargain. Can Mr. Hamilton, first Secretary of the Treasury, really guide us toward a delicious life, delicious liberty, and pursuit of delicious happiness every single weeknight and weekday morning and weekends? Well, let's find out. This is a Clarkson Potter publication, and it's important to know that $10 Dinners goes beyond the actual cooking of the meals. There's a lot of preliminary matters that need to be attended to, like setting a budget, and once a week or once a month, grocery shopping. And afterwards, all about the presentation of the meals. Plus, it's all about balance for the $10 Dinners. Oh, I'm sorry, you weren't listening? You were paying attention to this autograph? Yeah, somebody by the name of Kendra perhaps met Melissa the Arabian and got this book signed. This is indeed Melissa's autograph, with accompanied kisses and hugs. XXOO. Whoever this Kendra is, I gotta tell you, it takes real guts to part with an autographed book of any kind, cookbook or otherwise, from any author. And no ifs, ands, or buts, Kendra, you got guts. And Melissa, I gotta say you got a certain amount of guts too, for this bold and yet not so new concept of $10 dinners. Low-cost meals that doesn't taste low-cost. And like I already said, there is a certain system which you must abide by when assembling $10 dinners. There's also a matter of balance. If you choose a high-range main dish, if you choose a more expensive main dish. To balance the cost, you need to choose 2 complementary low-wage menu items. If you choose a low-wage menu dish, then you have more flexibility in choosing your 2 complementary dishes. She says that you can make a delicious meal, 1 main course, 2 sides, or maybe an appetizer and dessert for $10 and no more. If you're at a cash crunch and need to build the cheapest dinner possible, choose 3 low-wage options. Finally, if you're hosting a dinner party and want to pull out all the stops, pick all mid and high-range recipes, knowing that you'll extend your $10 budget by only a few bucks. Plus, there is the enemy of budget-conscious cooks all over the world, amateur and pro, a little something we hate to call inflation. Before I show you the first proper chapter of recipes in this cookbook, appetizers and snacks, let me start you off with the $10 Dinner's Top 10 Strategies for Saving list. Eating well on a budget is about saving money at the supermarket and using what you have at home to your best advantage. Here are 10 ways to get started. Incorporate them into your shopping and meal planning, and they will pay off handsomely. 1. Try a clear the pantry week. Which reminds me, there's also a list of pantry staples which you will find in this cookbook near this section, because a lot of these recipes, nearly all of them, mainly feature pantry staples which you can easily find in your pantry and your kitchen. Number 2, incorporate bean night once a week, which really should be called vegetarian protein night because bean night doesn't just strictly apply to beans. It could mean any inexpensive protein such as whole grain pasta, eggs, lentils, or other legumes. 3. When entertaining, fit inexpensive proteins into the first course. You'll see that principle up close and personal with the appetizers and snacks I'll show you a little bit later. 4. Splurge smart in the produce aisle and make a fresh vegetable the star of the dish. 5. Stretch expensive ingredients alongside inexpensive ones. And in regards to stretching leftovers, there's a lot of really cool tips in here on how to stretch the amount of leftovers you already have on hand to make even more delicious recipes that practically taste like they've been cooked from scratch. Number 6. Use the bulk aisle in surprising ways. Number 7. Keep flavor enhancers in the freezer. You'll want to pay attention to the deals, dollars, and cents section to look for these flavor enhancers and presentation enhancers. Number 8. Take an inexpensive standby favorite dish and give it an ethnic makeover. Number 9. Never throw away a source of free flavor. In regards to number 8, it's been a lot of diversity and ethnicity with all of these ingredient stretching recipes. And number 10. Once a week, quickly tally your perishables and create a 5-minute menu plan. The most expensive ingredient is the one you throw away, so take a few seconds to check through your crisper drawers and see what's lurking in the back of the fridge. Let your inventory review drive your week's menu. If all you have are odds and ends, make an anything-goes soup or pasta sauce. Not the garbage stew cookie with Jack type soups or pasta sauces or recipes. Sorry, Jack. I love you, buddy, but I had to out you on that one. If you've seen that particular video, link below if you want to check it out, you'll know what I mean. Your menu plan doesn't have to be fancy to be effective, and it certainly doesn't have to be relatively revolting. With that out of the way, let's head to the appetizers and snacks section. Small bites to start things off. Entertaining. Whether it involves work colleagues, PTA parents, or simply keeping your kids busy while you prepare dinner, it's a lot easier to do when there's something tasty on the table, like toasted baguette with garlic confit. That's a 2-dot recipe which serves for. Nearly all the recipes in here serve for a standard family of 4. Grilled bread con tomate with crispy ham. Again, 2-dot recipe which serves 4. Olive butter which serves 4, and again a 2-dot recipe. Along with tips for how to make 10 more flavored butters. You can make flavored butters out of just about any powerful flavor-boosting pantry staple you have on hand. Caprese tartlets, 2 dots, that serves 4. One other word about the dot system here, there are 5 dots, and they represent the rates of expense for each recipe. 1 dot being the least expensive, 5 dots being the most expensive. 3 dots, I guess it would be in the mid-price range. And another note, there is a recipe cost index at the end of this book, which tells you all the recipes by order of the amount of dots that they have. Least expensive, most expensive. And the most expensive recipes in this cookbook go up to 4 dots. There are no recipes in here that go to the maximum of 5. Just thought I should point that out. And now, on to dessert. One dessert recipe I'm going to show you, and then we'll move on to breakfast. Because in there, and in this section, there are 2 recipes which are certain points of contention, at least for me. It looks like she's taking a cue from Jessica Seinfeld's Deceptively Delicious, which I already have at the Thrift Store Rundown. If you want to check that out, link is below. Black bean brownies. The heck? Black beans add a velvety texture and incredible moistness to these rich chocolatey brownies. Because of the grounding protein and fiber they seek in the dessert, the brownies don't send kids into a total sugar rush after they eat them, which to me is a huge win. Okay, huge win health-wise, and according to Ben Fink's masterful photography, he is one of the masters at cookbook photography. According to this photo which he snapped of 2 of Melissa's daughters enjoying the black bean brownies, it should be a huge win flavor-wise, although I will not know for sure. For a pretty finish, I sprinkle them with powdered sugar before serving. Or if I'm feeling extra snazzy, I'll place a stencil on top of the pan of brownies and sprinkle the sugar over it to get a fun design. 2-dot recipe, and it'll make about 12 brownies. Sneaking black beans into brownies without identifying its flavor should not interfere with the rich chocolatey flavor of mini semi-sweet chocolate chips. About half a cup needed for this. And 1/4 cup unsweetened natural cocoa powder. I think sneaking vegetables into a child's diet without them knowing that vegetables are there is really ingenious. But I don't know about the black beans. If I can taste the black beans for Melissa, that's a fail. I don't think I'll be incorporating black beans into chocolate desserts. Now it's time that we file for Chapter 11 in the most beneficial, healthful, rewarding, and delicious way possible with a bonus breakfast chapter. By the way, Melissa, bonus chapter? Really? If I bought this from a thrift store, would a copy omit this chapter, or is this standard in every single copy of the $10 Dinners Cookbook? Well, I don't know that for sure. What I do know is this. Breakfast, as they all say, is the most important meal of the day, wherein there are ample opportunities to save money, making breakfast a real treasure for budget-savvy cooks. So if you're one of these budget-conscious cooks, amateur or pro, you'd be foolish to skip the most important meal of the day. Just look at all the recipes you're getting in this chapter. Well, you would be foolish to skip that. A black bean chocolate and banana smoothie. Yet another inappropriate mingling of vegetables and sweets, in my viewpoint anyway. But if you don't mind the black beans in there, just as much as you don't mind the black beans in the brownies, then that is one delicious sounding breakfast smoothie that will make about 2 servings and is really inexpensive to make. You see the 1 dot here. I say delicious sounding, not really delicious looking because, well, that. This wins in the aesthetic department here, the green morning smoothies, and you can really make them your own. You see that list of ingredients here that you can try, so you can really mix and match your green morning smoothies to get your day off to a really good start while saving a lot of green in the process. Croque Madame's, which serves 4. That is a 2-dot recipe. Fried brown rice with eggs and a garlic soy vinaigrette. 2-dot recipe, which serves 4. Baked Hebble's rancheros and crispy tortilla cups. 2-dot recipe. That serves 4. Are you noticing a pattern here? As we delve deeper into this breakfast chapter, we're borderlining on these savory breakfasts. You're noticing a pattern of savory breakfast hybrids. Like this poached eggs with roasted asparagus and browned butter. 2 dots serving 4. There's no shame in anyone's game incorporating a little more liveliness and a little more substance to the most important meal of the day. So Melissa, right on in that department. Of course, you got your morning pastries too. Apple carrot mini muffins, cinnamon buns, Sunday morning waffles courtesy of her Frenchman husband, Philippe. And finally, the dish which sealed her fate, the potato bacon tort. This was served to an incredibly esteemed group of judges, Bobby Flay, Masaharu Morimoto, and Francois Payard. The show had a sky-high budget that contestants could take advantage of to create their signature dishes to impress the judges and to win the competition. And they chose this potato bacon tort, a country-style savory pie that takes no more than 50 cents a serving to make. And this was the dish that, well, I wouldn't really put this as hyperbole, changed her life. Hey, it's gotten praise from Food Network and out of Food Network, so Andrew Zimmern being up the travel channel, you know, Bizarre Eats. And all in all, Melissa, 4.5 out of 5 claps. If you can take into account inflation, making this book not that inexpensive and practical anymore in today's budget-conscious and a health-conscious society, if you're still looking for low-cost meals that don't taste low-cost, that are simple and stunningly delicious to put on the table in not a lot of time, you really can't do any better than what I like to call the Alexandra Hamilton of the kitchen. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the thrift side.